Hi, my name is Dana. Thank you for joining Scottsdale Public Library, and today we're going to spice up our planners. This is part 2 of our series. We're going to be looking at how to use functional but decorative elements in your planners, as well as maybe some very unconventional things. So please stay tuned to see what we can do. Alright, today we're going to go ahead and look at how to spice up your planner by changing the layout. So we have here the original layout where you're supposed to use the left side for the days of the week and your right side for notes or any other kind of thing. Well, let's see what I've come up with. Well, I went ahead and I changed it. So now this is Sunday and Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, so on. So instead of one day for a small little line, I gave each page its own week. I also used decoration here to create bullet points. Now there are sheets like this that you can get anywhere, and these small decorations can actually turn into bullet points when you're creating your decoration or when you're creating your page. So don't discount any of the decoration. And you can see here, sometimes I fill it in, sometimes I don't, but that's all right. Just keep going, keep trying for those fruits and vegetables. Just keep going. Turn another page and you'll see what we can do. Here's another layout where I went ahead and I took scissors, ordinary scissors, and I added some spice by cutting the page. Can you see that there? So what that means or allows me to do is know that this page here in the middle is connected to this one and the one on the left, and it allowed me to get a little bit of extra space for each of the days of the week. So it's kind of acting as an insert. It bridged this page and this page together. I decorated them with the same color scheme, just using some simple stickers and washi, and then just a regular black pen. Let's look at one more drastic cut here. So again, we have that, and actually right here in the middle of the page is where I went ahead and cut it. So this actually gave me a to-do list. I have still the same number of days. I have 6 there plus my 7th one here. But I was able to use the back of this page for notes. So it acts as just a little insert in between, allowing me to connect it. Now, one other thing you can do to your calendars is you can change them up. Now, you can see here, this says August, and it's Sunday through Saturday. The original was Monday through Sunday, but my brain doesn't work that way. So I went ahead and I changed it up. I added some glitter here because you never can have too much glitter, and was able to change all the days of the week, add a little countdown, just to have some fun with the planner. So just because a store sells you something, that doesn't mean that's the way that you always have to use it. Don't be afraid of using scissors. Don't be afraid of adding a little bit of color. And maybe you could always pick up a small book that has all these options and use them with a different theme in mind. We're going to go ahead and we're going to move on to my next one. This one here is for a little bit more of the Doctor Who fans, if you're familiar with that. But we're going to go ahead and jump on in. This planner was originally a dot grid. So it was basically a blank notebook. You can see the dots here behind it. And I have gone and done some things. Of course, if you're watching my videos here, you know that I do things differently. So I added in this piece of vellum. That looks like this here. So it's a frosted piece of sort of paper. It's kind of like if you're going to bake cookies and you're going to lay parchment sheet down on your cookie sheet. But it has a nice print on it. These are relatively inexpensive from the craft stores. And I went ahead and I taped it in. Just like that. Simple. Added a little bit of spice very easily. I ended up putting it in here because I had my calendar or my days of the week here, but I wanted my other type of schedule. So I separated it by putting this piece of vellum here just to make it decorative as well as useful. So I actually can just look at this and it kind of fades out the other page. So it allows me to only focus on one thing at a time. I also put a little bit of glitter on my tabs here. My book has a lot of them and they're sort of bent at this point, but that's okay. The other thing I want to show you here is how I have 4 days on a week, or 4 days on a page. Again, that separates from my to-do list and my notes. So this piece of vellum allows me to just have a clear view of what's going on, as well as now I can just focus on my to-do list. So we're going to go ahead and go to spot C. And this, you have to turn the whole book around. So again, just because the book was printed this way doesn't mean I can't use it this way. So go ahead, change up your planner, grab a blank notebook. Look at each day has its own page. It's so much fun to be able to just really change what you're looking at. This one, I added a piece of vellum with some stickers, but now every day has its own page. It really, the possibilities are endless when you do this. One other thing I wanted to point out is sometimes when you see a blank page, it can be very daunting. Like, what are you going to do with this? How am I supposed to fill the whole entire page? Well, you use sticker books, something that you, again, something that's easy to buy. You can get it at a discount, and they always will have these boxes and things. Well, go ahead, put them in your planner, and then you have smaller areas that you can focus on with writing instead of necessarily always having to focus the whole page. So it's a really nice addition just to go ahead and toss in a sticker, just to give yourself a little bit of space and control, a little bit of structure. All right, so this other planner here, I've done some diamond art. Got to have a little bit of fun, right? So with this planner, let me show you what a blank layout looks like. Again, we have one day on a page, but with that, you know the theme of this is to spice up your planner. So let's look at what I've done. This is a sticker. It is simply, actually, it is a shipping label. It is a 8.5 by 11 piece of paper, essentially, but it is a sticker. So I was able to print, cut it, and stick it right on top. Now, where have I got these images? I also was able to put it a little bit on vellum here as well. Where can you get something like that? Well, you can go ahead and get things that are free online that are supposed to be printed and put in your planner. One of these happens to have all these little critters along the side. Super fun, different sizes here in the middle, and you just choose the image or the book that's right for you, and you can see these characters here along the side. Now let me show you how I put them in my planner. Because right, we're talking about spicing up our planner, not leaving it boring. So I ended up including the monkey on the tree branch. And then I also put the toucan on the tree branch. It is really fun to be able to layer certain things, and that adds just a little bit of spice. This one is purely decorative. It actually serves no function, which is different from how I normally plan, because I always like to have function. But it is super cute, and I just love how the bird is able to sit right on that tree branch. It just works out so well. The other thing I want to talk about in this planner, this is from the same thing. Again, you just go online, search printable, and you can get lots of images. This one I wanted to show you just combining different things. So we have a different color scheme, but this up here is just paper that I glued on with a glue stick. So just because this is printer paper, or excuse me, this is sticker paper, you can always just use regular printer paper and a glue stick and put things down. So don't worry about it. This is also from a whole different type of theme, but I just went ahead and put it together. So don't worry about keeping to a particular set or theme or whatever it is. You do what you want. It's your planner. One of the last things we're going to talk about today is actually using a few more unconventional items. Now, we have talked about, or you've seen washi tape, and you've seen sticker books. You've also seen some of these. We've also had a few of the printouts, but those are kind of normal, aren't they? Well, let's see what I did with that. I have included doilies. Yes, actual doilies that you get from various craft stores. You can buy them fairly cheap in a pack of 100. And I went ahead and glued that down and added a really nice contrasting background for this picture. So don't discount a doily. You never know how actually it's going to help you in your planner or in your journal. And the other thing I used here is a postcard. Most of us are generally familiar with putting in postcards, but this actually is the bag that the washi tape that I show here, that it came in. So I really wanted to know where my friend had gone shopping. And so I actually included the bag itself as part of my decoration. So don't always throw away the packaging, but don't keep everything either. But it just was a nice thing to show that you can just do some interesting things when it comes to a planner. And I do have one last thing I would like to show you. This one is a bigger one, so compared to all the other ones you've seen, this guy is gigantic. But no fear, let's go ahead and take a look. Missing my letter A. There it is. Here is my letter A. So this allows us to actually see the planner as it was intended by the manufacturer. Plain. We've saw this a little bit before in the previous video. Well, let me show you what I've done with it. I originally started off using simple 2 colors and some washi tape. Thought it was great. Wonderful. But I needed to do something else. It really wasn't quite working. This wasn't really that great. It was okay. It worked. So I tried again, and now using a multi-pack, I went ahead and added bunches of color. Maybe too much color. The jury's still out on that one. But I went ahead and took that idea and decided, oh, maybe I can just use bigger stickers in order to block off, because I don't work on Sundays because right now the library is closed. So I needed to know what day I don't work and what time do I leave. So as you can see, I've been progressing, coming up with different ideas, and here is one of my final ideas that actually came to play, and it's one of my favorites by far. I used a very wide washi to show that nothing is happening past 6 p.m. because as of right now, the library closes at 6. I also happen to be off this day, minus one small meeting. So I used the washi tape to be both decorative as well as functional. I went ahead and used that same washi on the bottom so that way I could tie the theme in all together. Flowers grow from underneath. So it made real sense for me to put this on the bottom and for it to go into my day. This again is just plain washi, and I used a Sharpie pen to write the days of the week on there. So nothing fancy, my own handwriting, and I just went ahead and put that on. It's just, 1, 2 types of washi, maybe 3 here, and in the end I have a beautiful planner that is decorative but functional. I have everything I need to do, nothing is encroaching on my writing space, and it all really works out well. Now I'm going to leave you with one final thing. So you see this book, right? One more way to spice up your planner is to change the binding. Say what? Yeah, we're going to change the binding. So I took this book in 2016 and I cut it apart. It's a little scary. I'm a librarian and we cut the book, but let me show you what I did. By buying a ready kit from one of the office stores, I was able to get a hole punch, and I hole punched the planner. And I went ahead and we were able to add it in. So this provided me with so many options. I was able to go ahead and simply put in smaller pieces of paper if I needed to. Let me just go ahead and do that. I could go ahead and add in bigger project sheets. Whatever it is that I needed to do at the time, I could go ahead and just simply add them in or take them out. And I could add it in on another day. So really, when you're spicing up your planner, it doesn't always have to be with stickers, with washi tape, or with colored pens. Sometimes you just need to change the spine and do something else with it. And then look, I have a very nice book when it came down to the end of it. Thank you so much for joining us today. We have learned how to spice up our planners by using some usual and unusual things. And remember, those scissors can be your friend. Make sure you join us either on Facebook or here on YouTube to see what other videos we post, as well as different types of events that we have. Thank you again so much for joining us today. Have a great one. Take care.